When you're buying a new house, it's important to do a thorough check of the rooms and hallways to make sure that you know what you're getting. Coming up, hidden inhabitants, ammunition rooms, secret passageways, and more. Join us as we explore some of the hidden places that people have discovered in their own homes. Students in Ohio. A group of Ohio University students thought that their house was haunted when they heard noises during the night, and that thought would be close to confirmed when they found open cupboards in the morning. After a thorough search, though, what they discovered was, if anything, much more creepy. After going through the house top to bottom, they found a room that was hidden in the basement, behind a maintenance cupboard. The room contained a double bed, textbooks, pictures, and even a television. These were the belongings of an unknown housemate whose name was Jeremy. The shocked occupants changed the locks and left a note saying Jeremy could no longer stay there. Reddit. It's important that when you get a new house, you explore every nook and cranny, but sometimes what you find may exceed your expectations. A Reddit user, whose name basically translates to lumberjack, shared images of a secret passageway that he found in his new property that ended in a small locked door. Behind it was a tiny room that featured only a briefcase and a safe, as well as a series of videotapes. One of the tapes was labeled "No, no, no, no." While Lumberjack may have kept the watches and cash found in the safe, the police are now apparently using the videotapes to solve a mystery. Would you keep what you found? Oh, and also, there was a note that was attached to the safe that simply read, "Save yourself," in bleeding thick ink. Peepholes. Two American house hunters found a hidden space under the stairs in an unoccupied home that contained some pretty spooky messages. The words, "No watching Isaiah through the hole," "No writing or drawing on the walls," and naturally, "Stop watching me," were scrawled on the bare brick beside two terrifying peepholes in the haunting cellar room. It's safe to say that these hunters passed on the house and left Joshua's room to less diligent inspectors. A message. The couple that recently purchased a home in 2005 went on to do renovations and would find a secret passageway behind a bookcase. While this may seem spooky or even awesome, within the room was a typed note that was titled, "You found it." Despite this odd beginning, the note went on to say that the previous owner, who had really enjoyed the house, actually found a terrible black mold problem within the walls and made his children very sick. The note ended with an email address with a required subject line. After some quick correspondence, the new owners packed up their stuff and sued the realtor who sold them the tainted house. An armament. It's possible that your house's previous owner could have left you treasures and gifts behind, and it's also possible that they aren't presents at all. Lifting up some loose floorboards in his house, an American homeowner would discover a secret room within the foundations, filled with lots of ammunition. There were boxes of bullets, some suspiciously empty gun cases, and even a grenade. The grenade was confirmed to be a dud, but it goes to make you wonder what happened to the previous owner of this cache of arms. A student basement. A young man in New Mexico heard banging in his basement and went to investigate. Now, perhaps he's a lot more brave than you or I, but he pulled up some floorboards in the middle of the night and found a hidden door in the pantry that led to the basement that he didn't know he had. Within this secret room was a desk with working lights and a recently smoked cigarette. This might well make you reconsider your lease, but as it turns out, the basement occupant never came back. I just don't know if I'd trust that underground dweller to not return ever again. A religious hiding place. The Farless family found a strange metal grate in the floorboards of their home, but didn't really give much thought to it. Then, after 3 years of happy habitation and a few drinks one night, they decided to finally probe just a little bit further. And beneath the grate was a stone staircase that led to a short, stuffy room with a dirt floor and a large stone cross on the ground. The room seemed like it was fine. The cross, somewhat more concerning though. After contacting a local historian, the family learned that their house was probably at one point a haven for persecuted Catholics, and that their basement was a hideaway chapel for the religious renegades. A house guest, a family that understandably wants to remain anonymous, accidentally stumbled on a hidden bookcase doorway while their two sons were playing. Now, this may seem like a great adventure for two young boys to go on. I mean, hey, Narnia might be back there. But the passageway led to something that they definitely did not want to find. It was a secret entrance to a spiral staircase that opened into a bedroom that had been very recently occupied. There were candy wrappers and toys, along with other items that had been taken from other parts of the house. The house would be later boarded up, sealing in a terrifying discovery for future inhabitants. What's in the attic? A family in Norway discovered a secret loft that may have well been of historical significance, even if it is a little bit creepy. Their attic was used to house someone, and when they ascended the hidden ladder, they found a rough table, a shelf, and a note that translated to, "If you have a bad stomach, then you don't have access." While this note is somewhat concerning, there's another side to the story. It's believed that the attic was used to hide the Jews during World War II. Screaming. Tony bought what he thought was the perfect house, but something was going a little bump in the night. He would report hearing screaming, painful moans, and the sounds then began to haunt him. One night he would hear banging coming from his yard and decided to investigate. Tony then found a hidden door in his garden and claimed to have seen a figure sprinting off into the moonlight. He sealed the outside door and the noises stopped. While this seems like an efficient and industrial solution, I may have still put up a for sale sign. A trap door. Finding some extra room in your apartment can be a godsend in a busy city, but finding an entire extra room can be quite terrifying. Reddit user DEMC7 shared photos of a trap door that was hidden in his apartment's floor, and took a moment to gather his courage before delving in. As it turns out, the door would lead to a stone room with a bed, and walls lined with old graffiti. The most concerning part was the floor though, which had shown signs of being dug up, as there was a large hole and piles of dirt. This kind of indicates that something had been buried there, and it's not everyone's idea of a guest room. Mont Sainte-Odile. The monastery of Mont Sainte-Odile is located high in France's mountains and is home to numerous priceless medieval books and manuscripts. Between 2000 and 2002, over 1,000 of these invaluable treasures mysteriously vanished from the ancient library. Police were baffled, and after setting up hidden cameras around the premises, they found something straight out of the movies. As it turns out, a book thief had been sneaking into the library using a hidden passage and a chamber that had been long forgotten about. After his secret entrance, the man would acquire these medieval texts along with other things and stuff them into his pants before making a cleanish getaway. The thief had somehow gotten his hands on an old map that revealed the hidden chambers that could only be accessed through a secret mechanism in the back of a cupboard. Singer Castle. If the New York Times dubs a place a castle of mysteries, it's probably got some wacky secrets along with it. Singer Castle was constructed on Dark Island in 1896 by the president of Singer Sewing Machines, Fred Bourne. This castle is chocked full of hidden doors and booby traps, including a sliding wall that reveals a staircase, secret wine cellars for the best vintage, and paintings that actually featured out hollowed-out eyes, allowing peep shows on your guests. Somewhat more odd, and discovered after Bourne's death, was a hidden room that's accessed via a coat hook that led to a treasure room, as well as an ominous black-gated dungeon. Singer Castle is now a popular tourist attraction and a wedding destination for those with a heart for the mysterious. Dunnerden. Dunnerden is the name of a home in Aspen, built by the software developer Doug Carlston. Now, it may look like an ordinary log cabin from the outside, but Carlston made his fortune with successful PC puzzle games like Myst. So, the house actually has 1,700 feet of hidden passageways and tunnels. There are filing cabinets that conceal doors, dressers that access other rooms, and the bottom of the house is actually a catacomb maze, and it's apparently full of treasure. The house is not entirely innocent though, as it has what's called the Room of Doom. This is a room where the guests stand on a rocky ledge behind a waterfall, and there are only two ways out. You either swim through a chute or jump through the waterfall, both of which will hopefully lead you to the swimming pool. While Dunnerden doesn't house a secret psychopath or have a hidden student living in the basement, it's certainly an eclectic and odd home full of secret spaces. This concludes our list of hidden places that people have discovered in their own homes. Which secret creepy room was your favorite, and what spooky hideaways did we miss? Let us know all about it in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Tourist attractions draw crowds from all over the world, but sometimes these structures have more going on than meets the eye. Coming up, hidden rooms, dangerous balconies, underground railways, and more. Join us as we explore some of the biggest secrets hidden inside of monuments. Trafalgar. In the days before high-tech security cameras, it was still kind of important